So this first one, it tells me that the shape is going to be a rectangle, but if you notice, they've only given me 3 ordered pairs, so that means I'm going to have to figure out what that 4th one is. But since they've already told me it's a rectangle, that kind of gives me all the information I need to know. So looking at my first point, it is +2, +4. So that means I go over to the right 2 and then up 4. All right, so this is L. Point M is +4, +2. Okay, this is M. Letter N is going to be -1, -3. All right, and that's N. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these so I can kind of see where my other corner has to go. So obviously my other corner has to go somewhere in this vicinity. Okay, it can kind of help me out. I can kind of see that this one is about 2 units high. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 units long. So somewhere in this area is going to give me my extra point. All right, so I'm going to look at my answer choices. All right, so the first one they've given me is +3, +1, which would put me right here, which is not going to be my 4th corner. So I know that's not it. Okay. My next one is -2, -4, which would be down here, which obviously also is not going to be my 4th corner. All right, my next one is -3, +1. All right, we can kind of look at that one. We'll keep it as an option. All right, and then my last one is -3, -1. All right, so I'm going to fill in these sides. So let's see. This one right here, if I filled this one in, I think you can kind of tell right there that that's not going to be parallel to this line down here. And as you know, rectangle, the top and bottom have to be parallel. So let's try this other one that we just made. And there we go. I think we can tell that that would be my 4th corner. So my answer would have to be D, -3, -1. Okay, that's one of those questions that you really kind of have to draw out to see what your answer is going to be. So don't get lazy and just try to guess what it's going to be. Actually draw it out so you can really see what's going on. Okay, my next one, another quadrilateral. They've marked all the points this time and they've graphed it and everything's there. All they want to know is what is the length of line BC. The question's down here at the bottom. So what is the length of line BC? So from here to here, what is the length? Well, this one's a little easier because they've actually drawn it for you. So you can count your squares in between. So if you count your squares from B to C, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my length would be 10 units. But there's also another way you can think about it. Going back to our absolute value lesson, this point goes all the way over to -4. So the absolute value of this point right here would be 4, because remember, distance can't be negative. So from 0 to -4, that's a length of 4. All right, and then this one goes to 6. So from 0 to 6 would be a length of 6. So if I add those two together, I would still get 10. Okay, let's check out another one. All right, so this one's kind of long. It's kind of long, so I should do my best showing it. But it says Jared is making a map of his town on a grid. He needs to plot his house at 2-3, his school at 2-8, and the public library at 5-8. All right, so let's do that first. So his house is at 2-3. I'm going to put an H for his house. Okay, his school is at 2-8. Put an S for his school. And then the public library is at 5-8. Okay, so we've plotted everything we need to plot. Now let's go down here. It says every weekday, Jared walks from his house to his school. So from his house to his school. After school, he walks to the library where his mom picks him up. If each square equals 1 block, how many blocks does Jared walk each weekday? Okay, so in other words, we're finding the distance. Now remember, distance can't be negative, So I already know my answer has to be a positive number. So it says he walks from his house to school. So his house is at 3, his school's at 8. So that would be a distance of 5 blocks. Okay, so that's 5 blocks to school. Then it says after school he walks to the library where his mom picks him up. So he walks from school to the library where the school is on 2, the library is on 5, so that would be a distance of 3. So if this distance is 5 and this distance is 3, then that would be a total distance of 8 blocks. All right. So this one, we gotta do some plotting. All right, it's asking about the perimeter. So if you remember perimeter, remember you gotta add up all of your sides, okay? So the first thing we need to do is plot this rectangle. So my first ordered pair is -1, +1. Then that is point A. Then we have +2, +1. Then we have +2, -5. Then we have -1, -5. Okay, so let's connect these sides. Okay, so there's my rectangle. All right, remember it asks for the perimeter, so we need to add up all of the length of our sides. Okay, so you can kind of tell here, 1, 2, 3. This length is 3. All right, now this one we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and obviously it's a rectangle, so all of them are going to be the same. So this one's also going to be 3, and this one's going to be 6. Okay, so remember it's perimeter, so you add them. So 3 + 3 is 6. So in other words, I've got 6 + 6 is 12, and then 12 + 6 would give me 18. So my perimeter of this shape is 18. Okay, another question about asking about the length of a segment. All right, this one wants to know about KN. So from K to N. So if you look at it, K is at 4, N is at 9. So from 4 to 9, my distance would have to be 5. So that length is 5.